Like, oh my gosh, like chill. These aren't normal. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Breathe. I'm scared to say my channel name, but you guys know what it is because I don't want to get demonetized. It took me so long to get monetized. But you know the name of my channel. But if you did click on this specific video, you probably have postpartum. So you're either in the thick of postpartum depression or you're an expecting mommy. Congratulations. And you want to know what postpartum is going to look like and hear all my tips and tricks on how to avoid it. But first, I'm going to show you guys, well, not show, but I'm going to tell you guys exactly how postpartum felt for me, how I got over it, yada, 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 yada. If you have postpartum depression, majority of the times, what it's going to look and feel like is regular depression. So there supposedly is a time frame. If you have it longer than 2 to 3 weeks, then it's postpartum depression. After those 2 to 3 weeks, it starts to seep over into regular depression. So be wary of that. I personally feel like postpartum lasts for about a good 3 months. I have a lot of friends and a lot of family that are now mothers. And obviously hearing everybody else online, like on TikTok and things, you know what the algorithm does. There seems like it's lasting till about a cool like 3 months. So in my personal, I'm not a doctor or anything or professional, but in my personal opinion, I feel like anything after 3 months is now regular depression. And I'm finally 6 months postpartum, and it feels like a long time coming. It does. And we need to understand the difference between baby blues and postpartum. So for example, back in June when I had my baby, I was a mom for about, I want to say maybe like 4 or 5 hours. I know they don't know I'm filming a video, but why do they do that? Anyways, I was a mom for about like 4 or 5 hours, and I only had colostrum. My milk wasn't coming in. So the doctor was like, oh, we can get you donor milk, which is another mom's breast milk that they fertilize, or we can get you formula, which is Similac. So I was like, absolutely not to the formula, but also absolutely not to donor milk because I don't want my baby to have somebody else's milk. And I started crying because I'm like, I only been a mom for a couple of hours and I already can't do something for her. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be able to feed her with my body, and I can't. But that's the baby blues, just beating yourself up and feeling extra hormonal over something that's kind of out of your control. Because my boyfriend was like, why are you crying? She's giving you a solution. And I was like, I don't want those solutions. Oh, my feelings hurt. Oh. See, when you push that baby out, your hormones are trying to rebalance themselves and they're like all over the place. Your hormones are literally like everywhere. So that's why you have the baby blues. And then after, that first 3-4 days of the baby blues, it goes into sometimes postpartum. So postpartum could also look like you not wanting to get up and make yourself look presentable or feeling motivated to do anything. Obviously, you just had a new baby. So use your discernment if you were up all night because your baby's crying, or if you know when you feel that internally, like when something inside is not right. You know what the difference between being sleepy and when it's emotionally affecting you. So that's one of the things. It's just not feeling motivated or having a lack of energy to do something. I've heard some women say they want to rip all the doors off the wall, constantly snapping at people. And then the major one, the intrusive thoughts. That's a big one. And that's one that the moms were uncomfortable talking about because they felt batch crazy. But I talked to my doctor for all of us, and I made that first step. And I said it first to my doctor for all of us so that y'all didn't have to. And a lot of my friends, they have like 2-year-olds, and they're like, oh my gosh, you have that too. I had that with my son or my daughter, and I felt so insane. And then my mom, who's five kids in, been a mom for about a cool 30 years now, she was like, oh yeah, I had that with almost all my kids. But when I was within the first 2-3 months of my motherhood, everything scared me. I thought there was constantly something that was going to happen to my baby. I was like, what if I go down the street and all of a sudden I get hit by a car? But what if that car hits me from the back because my car seat's in the back? And I'm like, I've been driving for 10 years and I've never been in a car accident. I'm constantly getting in the car and just, going to Starbucks or going, wherever I need to go. not worrying about these things. But now all of a sudden I'm like, what if this happens? And the images that I get are so crystal clear. I can vividly see it happening and how it's going to happen and what my reaction will be like after it happens. And I'm like, why am I being so negative? Or if I'm walking down the stairs, what if I'm walking down the stairs and all of a sudden I fall, but I fall face first and I fall straight on my baby? And I'm like, oh my God, chill. These aren't normal. But not only are you getting intrusive thoughts about what if this happens, but what if I do this to my baby? And that's the territory that is uncomfortable for a lot of moms, and that scares the living daylight out of a lot of moms, because I definitely had it. And it's the same type of effect that, you know, when you guys are standing next to an edge or a ledge, whichever, and you look over and you're like, what if I just jump right now? But then you're like, ooh, why would I fly? Yeah. But then you're like, why would I just want to jump? I love myself. I'm going to hurt myself. But why would I just, like, what if I just jumped? That's kind of the same type of intrusive thoughts that you get with your baby. Because you're like, I know for a fact I would never harm my baby, but why am I thinking these things? And then you start to not want to admit it out loud, because you're like, no, I don't want to seem like a terrible mother. I don't want anybody to call CPS or think that I'm actually capable of doing this, because I'm not. So when my 6-week checkup came, my doctor, one of the first things he asked me was, do you have thoughts of harming your baby? And he asked me so, just like that, like so casual, just like, oh, hi, so how you doing? You have any thoughts of harming the baby? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I didn't really want to answer. But he was like, as long as you don't act on it, it's perfectly normal. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I know for a fact I would never act on it. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was hearing voices in my head. And he was like, just don't act on it. And if you're still having these thoughts, you know, like 1 year in, go seek help. So, and I'm not a professional, but I also agree with him. If your child, actually, never mind. That's not my place. So what can we do to actually combat postpartum? Because it's really got to let us go, because we don't have time anymore. We need to be mothers. We need to be soaking up the best time of motherhoods, because they're only going to be in this tiny for so long. And we don't want to, we take pictures and everything, but we don't want to sit there and use these precious moments, or think back on these precious moments and forget what their little smile was like, and forget, you know, what their little toesies looked like or felt like, because obviously I have pictures, but forgetting how they felt in your hand and things like that. Because when we think back on those memories, all we could think of was, oh, I was so sad. Oh, I had anxiety. Oh, I was angry at the world. So let me tell you what I did. 1, while you're pregnant or in the very beginning, you and your partner should watch a video or take some classes so that you guys are prepared for what postpartum can look like. And it can manifest differently in every single woman, but he definitely needs to have an understanding that stuff is about to get real, because you were the one that carried that baby. You were the one that sacrificed your life. You breastfed. They also say postpartum can last for as long as you're breastfeeding. But I would say definitely try to have your partner as involved in your postpartum as possible, so that he knows what to expect and so that he knows what that looks like. And I don't know why, but a lot of men don't hear it until it comes from somebody else. Because I don't know if to them we're nagging or milking it, or we're just picking a fight or whatever. Like, no, this is real. So maybe get your mom involved and like, yo, mom, when you talk to him, can you slide in there like a story, like, oh, this is what postpartum did for me, child. It was a lot. Or if he has friends who have kids, be like, hey, can you talk to him about like how your girl had postpartum, like slide it in there in your conversation somehow. Something. You're gonna have to get somebody else to you know, speak on your behalf, because I don't know why men are weird. It goes in one ear and out the other oftentimes when it comes from us. I could be like, it's cold outside, put a jacket on. But then if somebody else were to be like, hey bro, it's cold outside, then he'll put a jacket on. I don't know. But definitely it would help to get, if this could be an instructor or just somebody that you guys find on YouTube, but as long as he hears it from somebody else and he has an understanding of the fact that your feelings in general are just valid when it comes to this whole new mother postpartum thing, I feel like that'll help out tremendously. Next, go to the support groups. Please You don't even have to be physically going to a support group, but what helped me is that for some reason, my algorithm on TikTok changed. So that when I had the baby, now all they were showing me was new mothers, and these new mothers would post videos and be like, is anybody else feeling this? Is anybody else feeling that? So I used that as my support group. But if you guys want to go find one online or go find an in-person one, even better. If you guys have friends and family who are new moms or just have kids and they can talk to you about like what that's like. Also, therapy. Leave your ego and your pride aside. If you have insurance, get therapy. That can definitely help. That one-on-one therapy, it hits different because it's very personalized to how you're feeling, and you don't have to be embarrassed to say anything in front of somebody thinking you're going to get judged. Even though for the most part, everyone's in the same boat as you, that one-on-one therapy is good. Do not beat your guys' selves up at all. If your dishes can't get done, okay. If the laundry can't get done, oh well. If you haven't been able to get up and do your makeup, even though, you know, you feel good, but if you haven't been able to get up and do it, oops. You just had a baby. You just birthed an entire life. You have a giant womb. You have a huge wound in the middle of your stomach that's about this big that you cannot even see. But imagine if you were to see it on the outside, you'd be like, oh, I need to be on bed rest for sure, but you can't see it. So you're thinking, like, you're feeling guilty that you're being lazy, or you feel guilty that the house looks a mess. Give yourself grace. Don't be scared to put up boundaries, okay? If people are coming over too much to help with the baby, be like, hey, if you guys want to come over to help me, if you guys want to help me with some laundry or with some dishes, or if you guys want to cook me a meal, since you're holding this lovely little joy that I risked my life to bring out here, that would help. That would help me a lot. Don't be scared to, my window's open, so I'm like, who's looking in my, don't be scared to assert those boundaries. It was definitely uncomfortable for me when I felt like I had to assert some boundaries, but I did it and it needed to be done. Let me tell you guys about supplements that helped me. I should have probably got on meds a long time ago. I'm still not on meds, but when my doctor said, hey, I think you have postpartum depression, take these pills, I was like, no. And my mom was like, Alexis, are you crazy? Stop being stubborn, take the pills. I was like, I don't want to take no pills. I didn't want it in my breast milk. I was like, I was trying to be a good mom. And my doctor was like, oh, well, these specific pills won't go into your breast milk. In my mind, I'm like, I don't want to jeopardize her milk, and she's too young to have like chemicals and stuff in her body. And they were like, it's not going to affect your milk at all. It's perfectly safe. We wouldn't give it to you if it wasn't safe. But if you guys are feeling too prideful to take the meds, I just want to let you know it's perfectly okay. No one's going to judge you. If your postpartum is getting that bad and you need some pills, girl, go get on the pills, because you and 1,000 other women are also on them. And no one's gonna really understand what you're going through besides you. Go ahead and take the help if you need the help. But if you do not like meds, if you are anti-pill, I'm gonna show you what else you could do. I personally encapsulated my placenta. It cost me about $250. I got an umbilical cord. I got a tincture. The tincture is like vodka mixed with I think it's mixed with a little placenta, and I got a little piece of my placenta, and I was putting those in my smoothies. But the main thing is I got these pills. This is from Instinctual Birth. I don't know if it's focused. But I did get my pills encapsulated, and they swore by these, and I should have been more proactive with taking these. At one point I just stopped, but getting all the nutrients back into your body, they say definitely helps your energy and your hormones rebalance. You can do a lot more research on it to make sure that this is the fit for you. But I did get my placenta encapsulated. Plus, I don't know, I just heard that they were selling placentas for about 40 to 50 grand, and I wasn't going to allow my placenta to be sold if I could buy it for $250. So I wanted my placenta. But the postpartum also played a huge factor into why I got my pills. And the tincture lasts for years and years and years. They say to take it when you're about to go into menopause. Drop of 2 drops under your tongue, you're good. If you did not get your placenta encapsulated, I'm gonna put you onto something else. Blue vervain. Blue vervain, I heard it from Dr. Sabi. It also looks exactly like my placenta pills. If I were to hold them up, I don't think I can tell the difference. You can get it's a plant. So like I said, if you're not big on meds, if you're trying to fight it for whatever reasons for breastfeeding like I was, you can get blue vervain. Look it up. Dr. Sebi is a world-renowned herbalist and doctor. He swore by this. He grew it in his backyard. He just had a bunch of plants, and he said that blue vervain was his favorite one. You can get a tea. You could get it in a tincture, and you can get it in a pill. I think those are the only 3 ways that you can do it. Next, I'm going to try the tea. I've been on these for 2 weeks, and I personally see a difference. And the thing that I love about it is that it's natural. Hallelujah. So those are all the tips and tricks that I have for you. Just give yourself grace. Just natural remedies if you can. One thing before I go that I have to tell you guys about. If you're a new mom and you're working on your breast milk, because I could not get my breast milk to come in until about day 5, I'm going to show you guys how I did it. Voila. It's a tea called Namasips. This is the Mother's Milk Support Tea. Is it focusing? Mother's Milk Support Tea. It's my own creation. I really have been trying to start a tea and coffee business for years, and I finally got the confidence to do so. But when I became a mother, it clicked like, oh, this is the type of tea that I would like to get into. So this is called the Mother's Milk Tea. I drank this to get my breast milk supply in, and it really worked for me. So I wanted to start to sell it. And you can get this at namasips.com, like namaste, but namasips. I'll leave the link below. If you would like to support me as a new mom starting a new business, that would be appreciated. Or if you're in your pregnancy journey, when I was 8 months pregnant, I started drinking raspberry leaf tea because it's supposed to soften the cervix and help you have a smoother labor. And I labored naturally. I didn't have to have a C-section or anything. Mostly because I was fighting it, but I definitely feel like me drinking raspberry leaf tea and eating dates helps. So I do have a raspberry leaf tea that you guys could also get if you're a mother expecting. This also helps if you guys are on your periods. It was a really a big shell shock, like when my baby was 5 months old and I started getting a period again. I was like, I haven't had a period in like a year and a half. But anyways, like I said, if you guys did want to support me in my new journey and becoming a business owner, I would love that. I would appreciate it so much. Like I said, it's namasips.com. Let me know about your guys' journeys though. If it's something that you feel comfortable sharing, leave a comment and just let me know how your motherhood journey is going, how your postpartum journey is going, or how your pregnancy journey is going. And like, comment, hit that subscribe button, because I will be dropping a lot more videos. And I thank you guys for sitting here with me this entire time. Best of luck on your motherhood journey, and congratulations to all the new mommies. I'll see you guys in my next video.